Ramble, Digital Ramblers, welcome back. We are so excited to be back with you guys. Hello, I'm JJ Canon, and I'm joined by my good friend, my co-host across the big pond, Mr. G, Mr. Gamble. How are you, my friend?
Good to see you, JJ. I know you've got a house full of technicians executing some high-level installations. I can see a ladder behind you. I've seen a television get mounted. I've seen Sonos. There's some
for real, man. Like, look, I'm serious. We got a live install going as we speak. I got Starlink going in right behind me, or it's been in, so it's stable. And so I think we're gonna have a successful episode here, man.
Yeah, that's great. I like to see that hive of activity, the multiple rooms coming together, multiple pillars of scene coming together. I think you're building a great scene there at that property that you were showing me earlier. So keep us posted on that one, JJ, because I think our audience would like to know what we live with, the tech that we live with. I think that's definitely a future video.
That's right, Digital Ramble listeners. I am setting the scene at my house here as we speak. Right now, we are getting in a little entertainment. I got a television and a sound bar going in and amp, for the outdoor speakers and stuff. So as we continue talking about setting the scene and the importance of setting the scene, if you're a home tech pro, if you're actually a homeowner, talk about setting the scene, and people are like, hey, what is setting the scene? It's very easy. Scene, S, security, C, communication, E, environment, N, network, and E for entertainment. And, we're going to talk about a little bit of a segment, a little diversification of the scene today. It's like, Gamble, I don't know about you, but clients sometimes are like, Jay, we got all this cool stuff. Now what? Now what do we do about it? And so today we're going to be talking about $100 billion industry, and that is app entertainment and things that you can do with the tech that you have in your house.
Yeah, and these are the things that you might discover when you click away from the mainstream apps. When you've watched everything on Netflix, there's nothing to find on YouTube. Digging into these app stores built into the set-top boxes, the streaming sticks, the TVs themselves, they have a huge library of apps. So we're going to discuss some of the apps, and also on your mobile devices, beyond the mainstream, the box sets, the binge watching sessions. These are things that will add some fun, some discovery, and bring multiple people into the space to enjoy the tech that's presented to you.
All right, so episode 176, Smart Home Fun Beyond Netflix is what we're titling this one. Surprising apps built right into your home TV. Because, we think that home entertainment is of a lot of value. You got family, you got friends coming over, so we're going to dig deep. We're going to find some cool things that are fun for family, fun for private use, personal embetterment. So stick around. But we want to give a couple of shout outs. I was out and about last night, G. I was at this Cedia Tech Summit. It's like the road show they got going on right now. And I ran into a lot of good friends. Our good friends over at Ring, they were there representing. Ran into Kris and Todd over there. I want to shout out to those guys. But I also ran into Derek Harrell, and he's the guy that gave us a shout out while we were at CDS. So I want to say hey to Daryl. He said that he was listening to one of our episodes in the car with his family. And he's like, oh man, that's so cool. I also ran into Dan Deerwater, and he actually owns a company called Commercial Light and Magic. And he's based out of the Houston area, and they focus on commercial lighting and design. And they are really into their engineering. Like they are purpose built, engineering for commercial spaces. And he wanted to say hello and stopped us. He says he loves the Digital Ramble show. And so I wanted to give a shout out to Dan over there too.
Yeah, and you mentioned a new supplier that's hot on the Houston tech scene, a supplier that's adding some haste, speed, and dynamism to the supply network, and that's AV Express. We actually I joined in or listened in on a call you had. You got some great customer service from Sinise over at AV Express. They got some awesome TVs and LED walls to show off.
It's one thing to have a sales rep that can answer the phone and take a call, but but it's something different whenever you have a sales associate that's charismatic, that truly cares about your purchase and making sure that your service is done correctly. And Denise does a great job. I've known Denise for years, man. She's been one of my sales reps, and she is a fantastic individual that really knows her technology. And yeah, hey, Denise, how are you? But yeah, they have two of their products that they have over there. They have this Skyworth television, and I want to say it's like they have special sizes, like really large format art type displays. So if you're into, it does all their regular TV stuff. But for me, man, it's all their artwork that that matted finish and stuff. So they got this Skyworth TV over there. They got some really cool stuff. So check them out. They're over there at AV Express. They also gamble. One thing about them, also real quick, is years ago, you and I, we talked about like the Amazon distribution and how cool it would be for, them to drop stuff right to you. That's AV Express's like focus, is like getting product to you real quick. So if you're out on the job, you don't have to like take the time off to get away. So I thought that was really cool, whenever they were creating their business plan, their focus was trying to make things expedient for us. So that if we're out at our client's house, we can get that right product immediately. That's one cool thing about living in Houston. I know it's not that simple for you guys over there in the UK, but maybe one day expediency access might be a little easier for you guys. Y'all got to do a lot of planning for distribution over there.
Well, yeah, we bring the speed as the integrator. We are fast moving, high speed installation team. Our supply chain can often be a little bit lagging behind, but they will improve, and we will drag them into the new era that we're creating with Scene. You also caught up with a past guest, soon to be future guest. You met
Yeah.
the team over at Lit and Sarah Drescher at Luxury Integrated Technologies.
Yeah, I bumped into Sarah, and she had a really cool booth over there showing us all kinds of different lighting profiles and things like that. I met one of her employees, or one of her representatives. I think is Emma is her name, and super nice lady, very informative of the different solutions that they're offering over at LIT. And yeah, Sarah's going to be on the show in a couple of weeks, and we're going to really dig into understanding what she, as a lady in the industry, and very unique because she's also doing distribution. So that's super exciting. And understanding all the different offerings that she has available to make us as home technology professionals really shine. And the thing about Sarah, real quick, is her depth of understanding, just the different manufacturers that she's went with. It's going to be an incredible interview. So y'all stick around, check us out in the future. But yeah, Sarah's going to be coming on, and she's got a lot of insight on, ladies in the industry, and, blazing her own trail. Definitely, it's going to be a great conversation. And I was super excited to see her and run into her and talk shop, and to see all the cool things that they're offering.
Okay, bringing it back into today's episode, we are taking you away from the mainstream apps, the ones with their own buttons on your remote control. We're going to go a bit deeper into your platforms and devices to look at apps that will open up new entertainment activities. There's some educational, there's some health, wellness, things for all ages. Episode 176, the smart home fun beyond the mainstream apps. But this all still ties in with our framework, our pillars, the Scene framework that JJ and I have, that we're growing, that we're continuing to communicate. And this ties in, yes, there's obviously a primary focus on entertainment, but if you also overlap communication as part of this, because we're going to be using voice and voice assistants for some of the things we highlight, network, ultimately responsible for delivering all this to the rooms that we're going to use these new apps, and then environment. So you're going to lower the shades, reduce the lighting, change the climate. Everything starts to interconnect, even if it's just using apps and entertainment in your room, you get that overlap into the other pillars of scene.
Yeah, Chris. I mean, we've been talking a lot lately about how people are missing out on some of the really fun and creative ways that they can be using their smart devices, particularly their smart TVs, you know? A lot of investment is being put into their televisions regardless of size, but as well as their audio systems. And so we've been talking, and kind of dabbing around here and there of other things that you can talk about or utilize these devices for. And so we thought it'd be a great topic to talk about, whether they're displays or smart home apps. And sometimes they're apps that you can find on your phone and you can cast them onto your television. But we really want to focus on some apps that are baked into the television, some that we have used and experienced, some that our clients are asking us to download for them on their devices, and others that the market is saying, like, man, these are what other people are asking for and kind of trending for. A lot of it is in the health, man. A lot in wellness, is where a lot of these apps are kind of trending right now. And so dive deep into these. I know that you got some young kids over at your house, and this is something that y'all are doing on a regular basis. I know your baby loves doing this type of stuff. Just like kids are all about game.
Yes, and as a parent, I've got, one child is older and wants to play his games on an Xbox or PlayStation, and then my younger daughter, to be honest, I don't want her exposed to some of those games that her teenage brother is playing. So I'm always looking for things that they can play together, and I don't find the Xbox or the PlayStation that good for bringing them together for gaming. And we've discovered gaming on Netflix, where you use your phone as the controller. There's tons of games on there for all ages, but we've tried to use the ones where they can both play them. And that typically is the ones that are puzzles, different levels where, like a platform game where you have to navigate the character through a maze of options and routes and solve puzzles and challenges. And between the two of them, you look back in the room, you see teamwork, brother and sister getting along and not fighting with each other because they're solving, they're getting the rewards, they're getting to the next level. So we found that to be a nice use of the smart TV, using the phone as a controller, and games that they're not exposed to on Xbox and PlayStation. These are independent games that we're finding that are exclusive to Netflix.
Yeah. Like you, Gamble, I'm a family guy. I got kids, and I got my wife, and we love doing things together outside, but also, we're looking for things to do inside. Music is a really big part of our family. Hope and I, we met at a Flaming Lips concert back in the day when I was booking bands. And actually, I wasn't book. Yeah, I was booking bands, but I was also working at a radio station, and I got some concert tickets to the Flaming Lips. But music is just always been really impactful, part of it's just something that we do on a regular basis. And we like music and we like singing with music. And Spotify offers a fantastic app and interface with the televisions. And I love that they also have the lyrics. And so we can get together and sing, and, we'll bring the hairbrush in, as our microphone, and just have a fun time laughing together. It's a great way, it's kind of educational. It's a way to read, and learn how to read. It's a way to understand rhythm and tempo and beat. Obviously, I got no rhythm at all. I tried a little bit of flow the other time and failed miserably. I'm still working my flow game up so I can represent correctly. But yeah, man, I love that Spotify app and just getting together with the family and just having family fun. I think it's something that we're gonna try out for Thanksgiving. I think we're gonna get Oak Ridge Boys out. Giddy up, oh bob, oh bob, oh bob. You know that one? Elvira?
No,
No?
but you share that link, share that.
I'll do that. I'll do that. Thanksgiving is coming. Stay tuned. Stay tuned.
Though, when you talk about karaoke and the recent update to the Apple iOS and iOS for Apple TV, iOS 26, there's a new Apple Music Sing feature or Apple Music Sing app where You talk about using a hairbrush. This uses your iPhone as the microphone, so the audio comes through your television speakers or your soundbar or sub,
Get out of here.
multi-room. If you're pairing, you can pair up to 30 phones to the app, one phone at a time when it's your turn to sing, or as a duo, or as a band. But you can queue up who's next for the next track. You get all the lyrics and the audio, your voice coming through the speakers. I think that's the evolution of home karaoke. I'm going to upgrade my Apple TV as soon as I can now to iOS 26 and find out about this app.
That is great. That is what I'm talking about. And so Gamble, is it like family and family like link into the same song, or do you have to be in the same room,
I don't
or
think so.
like
I think
30
it's all
phones?
to
I
do
mean,
with
like
the
that's a
same.
banquet center.
Yeah, but you could for a party for sure, and you don't want to be sharing your phone, you keep your phone with you. So again, if it was a room that had multiple people and maybe they don't even know each other, but there's groups within a party, you might have just use Apple TV as your karaoke machine. Karaoke, big market, still very
Yeah.
strong in the Asian market. So they're embracing that market. So that's good to see from Apple, because there's a lot of Apple TVs out there as well.
Yeah. I am definitely down. I'm gonna go check that out. Listeners, go take a peek. Check that out. Apple Music Sing. I think that's what it is. All right. Gamble, if you
That's right.
did not know this about me, and it's one of the most downloaded apps. Hold on, I'm crossing my legs right now. It's one of the most. It's the. You feel that? Our AI will probably edit out some of the quiet calmness that I'm trying to channel right now. But it's what I've learned in downloading the Calm app. And it helps manage stress. It helps mental well being, which I have both. So I've been working with the Calm app, trying to find my center, trying to help get my fit on through mental health, and downloading that Calm app. You can do it on the television, you also can do it on your phone. It helps track your time of focus or meditation, whatever you'd like to call it, but it helps you find your center. And it also has frequencies and things like that help you tune in to your better you. Calm. Check it out.
Yeah, I immediately feel calmer. And I don't know how you managed it, but you stopped Tony from hammering in the background and using that impact drill.
He's
I think you
he's in
paused
froze
the whole
mode with the
house.
vacuum.
My youngest girl talks, she's always talking about things, and she says, "Oh, Dad must be happy. He's listening to his island music." And I thought she said like Irish music, but what she meant
Yeah,
was my reggae playlist, my reggae
yeah,
station that I
island.
use on Sonos Radio, Island Steady. I thought she meant
Okay.
Irish music, but
Hey, Dad, do you
it's
mind turning down
it's
the
it
jams, please?
yeah. But that's my
I'm
go-to
trying to
station when
study.
I'm fully relaxed, at home. I'm doing some cooking or doing a bit of housework. I'll put my Island Steady station on Sonos Radio, group it to everywhere. So I think we've got 8 or 9 zones in our house of Sonos. That just gets the everywhere button, and yeah, we've got that Caribbean reggae sounds throughout the house. So that definitely is part of my wellness routine.
So yeah, that sounds cool.
So next up, we're going into fitness and movement.
Movement.
We're both trying to do more exercise. We talk about that behind the scenes, motivating each other to do some more exercise. Get out on the bike. Kris, go and play some more football. But if you can't get out of the house, this is where your entertainment spaces lend itself to exercise. You can put Calm on, you can do yoga to some of the Calm playlists and frequency sounds that they offer. But for a more intense workout, we know those Apple TV customers, they've got access to Apple Fitness, which is your personal trainer on the big screen, beast mode. Is that something that we should be embracing, JJ? Maybe do some group workouts, the two of us on Apple Fitness.
I definitely could use some workout, to kind of to work with my Calm app, to kind of low gear me, throttle me down sometimes. But yeah, that Apple Fitness would be fantastic. I know that you use it quite a bit, particularly with playing football with your team out there, and it tracks all different kinds of metrics for you when you're out on that pitch.
Yeah, well, I have the Apple Watch, so I'm conscious of just my daily steps, exercise minutes, closing those 3 rings. That's just a target for every day minimum. And as a football team, I play weekly for a veterans team of middle-aged, overweight men. And we have a weekly challenge. We have a weekly challenge as a team. And it could vary from just everybody has to hit 10,000 steps every day. Somebody has to complete a 5K run or a 5K walk or a 60-minute cycle ride. There's always a challenge. And this week's slightly different. There are two challenges. You've got to do a workout at home in fancy dress. So we must
Okay.
be getting close to Halloween. So I've
That's
got to do a
kilt for
fancy dress
you.
workout.
That's kilt for you.
Yeah, well, okay, I could dust that off. And then we also have to do a plank in a public place. That is highly embarrassing,
How long
both
of a
doable.
plank? How long do you have to hold this plank for?
There's no time, but it's got to be enough for somebody to shoot a quick video of you planking in a department store or in a car park or you
Uh-huh.
know wherever. Think of a place, and where should I try and do a plank this week?
Hmm. Let's see.
I'm
I
going to be
think you
up a six meter high tower tomorrow, putting up some
mm,
shades. So maybe I'll do it on the
ooh,
top of the tower.
yeah, plank in the window. You do a
Yeah,
window plank.
yeah.
No, that's a oh my God, that's a window lean, like that's not a plank. Dude, something that we've been doing a lot with is like these golf simulators. We've been seeing, and right now we're doing a place called Break 80, and they got like 5 simulators going into one of our neighborhoods, the River Oaks neighborhoods, and its focus is on improving the quality of people's gaming, but also getting golfers to game together to where you can play all these courses from around the world, and you can get a group of ladies. It's huge with the ladies, particularly with the ladies. They like coming in during the day, and they'll group up, and they can choose different courses from all over the world, and they can play as a group. And then also, the men will come in, they'll do tournaments and things like that. But these golf simulators, it's like an app in place, and but you're playing full simulations. It's like we steroids, the kids, they do the little things. No, this is full blown adult entertainment for true stats, like ball measurements, ball distance, swing type. I mean, the full stack for a golf simulator. Um, it's not necessarily direct to TV app or direct off a TV app, but man, it's something that is really taking off right now is golf simulations.
Yeah, actually, when I was in the departures for the flight from Denver back to London last month, there was a whole section, like a place you could go and hang out. I think it had 4 or 5 golf simulator bays. There was also massage chairs. There was, places to get juice or a smoothie that you would just check in for 60 minutes of golf or 30 minutes on the massage chairs and 30 minutes of, three holes of golf. So I thought it was an awesome idea for in a departure lounge in an airport.
I need some of that in my life. That sounds great. Massage and
Yeah,
golf simulations. Yeah, let's do some of that, please. I won't lose any of those in the water.
yeah.
Well, I will, but it'd be simulated. I can handle simulation waterfowl. So
You
those
know,
expensive balls.
we're moving into the we're moving into darker nights here in the UK. 7 p.m. It's dark outside, but for us as a family, we still like to venture out, and we'll light the fire pit. It's darker. You get more of that flame effect and that nice, cold breath, the crisp of the night. And we still take a device outside. It might be we've got a portable speaker, I've got that reggae music playing even by the fire pit. But another device obviously will be the phone, and we take it out for one reason, because on up dark nights we get the app out called Sky View, and hold it up to the sky. We see all the constellations, the planets, where the moon is, even if it's behind the clouds. You can see in so much detail and in so much accuracy. And it's not that you just always look through the app. You pinpoint where you need to be looking, move the phone away, and then look up, see the shapes of the constellations, see the arrangements. And the new constellation that everybody's been spotting is the Starlink constellations, that stream of satellites heading overhead. I don't know if that's even on the app yet, but
Bro, that's actually Santa Claus. He's just out exercising the reindeer. That's what it is. He's just getting those guys ready for the holidays. That's what that
you're a
streak
true
is.
believer.
You didn't, oh, man. Yeah, that's what I've been told. That's what's going on up there. So I believe it. One of my buddies, one of his favorite apps is All Trails, and he loves getting out and hiking and getting out in the mountains. But what he does is he plans his trips for his family. And so that he'll cast this app up onto his television, and he'll show the different maps and different trails with topography and different areas that he's wanting to take the family, or if this is, a private trail. He does a lot of like mountain hunts and things like that. So he'll take trails back into the areas, and then he'll have to go off trail and then pick up on another trail. And so he'll use like All Trails mapping in order to that app in order to find the right areas for him to at least traverse and to make plans for different trails that he's going to be hunting off of, or exploring. Oh, there's Mr. Tony. Who knows where he's doing? I think he better not be messing with Starlink. But yeah, man, All Trails, that's a cool app, for planning trips and planning trails and exploring new areas.
Yeah, you talk about putting it up on the big screen. Before we did our summer trip over to Germany with the kids, we shared up on we've got an ultra short throw projector, 120 inch. We just threw up the Google Maps, mirrored our phone up onto the big screen, showed the kids, this is where we're going, here's the hotel. Especially for my youngest, she just wanted to know, where are we staying, what's in the hotel. We showed her there's the pool and the park, and then this is the museum we're going to on day one, and we showed her pictures of the holiday home we were staying. So again, using that big screen, all four of us sat down checking out where we're going. But to do that as well with your upcoming cycle rides, walks, any adventuring that you're doing, great idea for, instead of just huddling around the small screen, cast that screen up onto the big TV or the projector screen.
Man, Gamble, having these types of apps and access to this type of entertainment to utilize with the smart devices that you have, at your fingertips, or there at your house, just makes tech so much fun and engaging, whether you're by yourself trying to stay calm, or you're wanting to try to engage with family and friends and sing with them, or just do different things that are out of the normal, like watching movies. Like, movies is cool and all, but what else can I do outside of just using your system the traditional way? And so this is a cool exploratory. I mean, if anybody has some cool ideas, some apps that you're using, at your house in unique ways, drop a comment down below. Engage with us. Let us know what you're finding fun to use at your house, whether on your phone or there on your television. You can drop us a comment down below. You can also follow us there on Telegram if you want to get real close and personal. Gamble and I, we are in Telegram all the time. We communicate on a daily basis. So check us out there on Telegram and join our channel.
Yeah, and for anything longer form, drop us an email. You know, we're always checking that inbox, digitalrambleshow@gmail.com. There's also contact us on the website, digitalrambleshow.com.
Hey, you can also find us on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram at digital_ramble. We're kind of all over the place on the podcast. Check us out on Apple Music and Spotify. My understanding, we're on like 11 podcast streaming services, so you can't not find us. And if you would be so kind, like, share, subscribe, tell a friend. We're trying to build a little bit of an audience, so yeah, share us. We appreciate it.
So next week's episode, we have somebody with a big audience, somebody that's built an audience and who has got a vibrant community in the smart home space. We're bringing on a new face to the podcast, but somebody that I'm sure a lot of you know already, but somebody that's over here in the UK. So we're bringing that on. So we'll tease that. Keep an eye on our Instagram story for some teasers before we hit record next Wednesday. And we've mentioned earlier, the week after that, another guest. Week after that, another guest. We have got them stacked up, ready to go, and we're excited to that. We've done 5 or 6 comeback episodes since Expo. Now we're bringing on the guests. We're release the Kraken. You're gonna get
Release the
full on
Kraken!
now from the TDL.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Hey, friends, thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Digital Ramble. Hey, and if you don't know, ask a home tech pro.
Go finish that live install, JJ.
Yeah. All right, brother.